Why the fuck did the Pentagon release the Gimbal and Gofast footage again? There has to be some motive behind this. They always claim not to share such info as it could panic the public, but then they go on and they release the videos in October of 2019. Done, you would think. But no. During the Corona crisis, they released the videos again, this time with more emphasis. Now, it must be said, when they were originally acknowledged, the public's reaction to it all was non-existent. Were they not satisfied with the reaction and therefore released them again? What are they building up to? This and more today on E4E Evidence for Extraterrestrials in what is already the 40th episode of I'm Just Gonna Say It. Here we go. So, May has been a pretty eventful month. Eventful in general, of course, but in particular when it comes to UFO news. Starting with what I just mentioned. After releasing, or better, admitting to the validity of the Gimbal and Gofast videos, as they have been affectionately termed, in late October of 2019, for some reason the Pentagon decided to repeat themselves, like you do when you weren't heard during a conversation. And come to think about it, they weren't heard in October at all. The US government admitted to the existence of UFOs, or UAPs, as they are officially called. And the world didn't even really notice, aside from the odd UFO buff. Crickets were heard, but no shouts of astonishment. It hadn't registered. But now the same Pentagon that always said sharing certain info with the public could cause mass panic decided to repeat themselves during an already panic-flavored corona crisis. Now, stupid they are not, so they did take this fact into account. No doubt. Other objectives seem to have more priority, however. What are those objectives, is the question. Just a couple of days ago, the new logo for the United States Space Force was presented by the President. Let's have a look first.
This is the presentation of the Space Force flag. So we've worked very hard on this, and it's so important from a defensive standpoint, from an offensive standpoint. Today we're here for a very important, it's really an important occasion because we're unfurling the flag, and with us is Chief Master Sergeant Roger Toberman, and he is, I'd like you to say exactly, because his rank is a very special rank. Tell us about that rank.
Yes, sir. I'm the Senior Enlisted Advisor for the United States Space Force.
The highest sergeant by far, right?
Yes, sir. And at the moment, the only one. So I give counsel to the Secretary and to the President.
This rank is custom designed.
Wow, that's beautiful. Wow, that's it.
And he's the only airman that wears that rank, and will be the only airman that wears that rank. He's the Senior Enlisted.
That's fantastic, and I heard tremendous things about you, Roger. It's a very important position. Thank you. You're with all these generals, but you know what? He's an important guy, right? So why don't we go ahead and do it? Let's do it. Yes, please.
Thank you.
That's fantastic, Roger. I'll walk by there. That is great. You stay there. That's fantastic. Isn't that great? Please get in the picture. That's beautiful.
Mr. President, you will stand in your office alongside the other service flags.
Very, very great honor. It's a great honor. That's a beautiful flag, too. Roger, hold that up so they can see. That's really beautiful. Wow. That's a big day. That's a big day.
Can someone explain the logo, General Raymond?
Yeah, so the delta in the middle is a symbol that the space community has used for years and years and years. The North Star signifies our core value, our guiding light, if you will. And the orbit around the globe signifies the space capabilities that fuel our American way of life and our American way of war.
That's great.
Okay, a couple of things. But before I mention those, making videos is very time consuming. So please show your appreciation by liking and sharing this video. And by subscribing to the channel, of course, if you haven't done so already. Now, back to the Space Force. This is the logo of the Federation in Star Trek, is what you hear everybody yelling. However, do they realize that that damned vector sign shows itself in every single space agency logo there is? I mean, just look at these examples here. This has long been sort of a mystery, with the internet claiming the vector or delta or phi sign, whichever way you want to call it, refers to a certain UFO type encountered on the moon. It can also be seen reflected in one of the astronauts' helmets in that famous picture. And they mention that this here is the North Star, and keep it at that. What about these other two constellations? If we take the left one, for example, it seemed quite familiar to me. A little test confirmed my suspicions. The Pleiades constellation. Perfect match, right? But why Pleiades? Of course, with all the rumors about government contact with Pleiadians, as well as many channelers channeling Pleiadians, supposedly, this does speak to the imagination. I'm not sure about the other cluster on the right, though. I couldn't recognize any constellation at first inspection. If you recognize one, please let me know in the comments. I would be very interested. So much for that unveiling. One can wonder, why now, in the middle of the crisis? You hear many people asking this. On the other hand, why not? I don't necessarily see it as a sign that something is on the horizon or such. Not on its own. When viewed in the light of the weird double release by the Pentagon, however, a pattern starts to form. Earlier in 2019, we already had the unveiling of the Space Command flag too. I'm left wondering, what are they going to do? Do they have a fleet already? Of course, we all know roughly what they have been up to at Area 51, a lot of which will no doubt be incorporated into this program, if they have access. Because there's a good chance that deep state-run special access projects done at Area 51 have no ties with the Space Force whatsoever. Only time will tell. It's funny. By themselves, these two occurrences, the Pentagon videos and the Space Force unveiling, seem only mildly out of place, especially the latter. But when viewed together, they take on a peculiar quality, about which one can only wonder what the Pentagon's motives are behind this. Add to that the next bit of interesting news. The number of UFO sightings have increased substantially during the last months. Now, whether that is because people have more time to stare at the skies, or because we are being visited more often, remains to be seen. My gut feeling, though, says something is definitely about to happen in the alien department within the next couple of months. And the world is ready for it. People are eager to find out the answer to that age-old question and mystery, are we alone? Again, a moment to be wary as well. If at any time the ETs start to be labeled as enemies, we have to really watch out. The German rocket scientist Wernher von Braun always warned against false flag operations, starting with the Russians, foreign dictators, terrorists, third world crazies, meteorites, and the final card would be to unjustly vilify the extraterrestrials. And all of it would be a lie, of course, because villainous extraterrestrials is a bit of a preposterous idea, on many levels. If they had hostile intentions, we would have known already. The very fact that you are able to watch this right now is testament to the ET's peaceful or at least neutral demeanor towards us. Because for a civilization capable of interstellar travel, dealing with a bunch of fossil fuel using cavemen is like squashing an ant. For now, I give Trump the benefit of the doubt. I don't see him raising false flags. But he doesn't always get to decide this, of course. I'm becoming more sure every day that that man might surprise us, also with the whole Q thing happening and becoming more relevant by the day. After this weekend, I'll do another live update on the whole corona situation and Trump and everything. Another interesting event that happened less than a week ago was the rumored crashing of a UFO in Bijl, Brazil. Many different videos have emerged. In addition, even a video of the supposed crashed craft appeared on the net, made by someone who managed to slip past the government security around the area. Have a look. And of course the mainstream media didn't mention a thing. Now, as I just said, the number of sightings increased notably again. So to end this episode, I made another compilation of fresh clips from May 2020. Here we go.
Look at this shit. What the fuck? This is why they want us to stay in the house. This is why the fuck they want us to stay in the fucking house, nigga. It ain't the coronavirus, nigga. It ain't the radiation, nigga. It's this. What the fuck is this? What is this? What is that? What is this? Hold on. What is this? What is this? What is that? What is this? What is this in the sky right now? What's going on? They're not airplanes. They doing formations and shit. Like, what's going on? For real, for real. Somebody put.
And with that, we have come to the end of this episode. Again, like, share, and subscribe. If you wish to support me, there's a link in the description to my Patreon page and to the website at www.imjustgonnasay.com, where you can make one-time donations and also check out our cool merchandise channel. The next episode will be another edition of P4P, Proof of the Paranormal, and the one after that will be another Utopolis 1. Until then, take care of each other, meditate, meditate, meditate. Gruskot, bye bye. Oh, and don't forget to meditate.